Welcome all to the Daily Huddle. My name is Steele Greye. Excuse me, a little something in my throat. And today I'm joined with my wonderful co-host, Ricochet. It is an amazing day. As you can see, I'm out in the elements and it's a little hotter than I thought it was going to be, but it's so nice to be outside as I'm in motion today. So thank you for your patience with that. But before we get started, we're having a great conversation today. I wanted to give you this quote, and for some reason, I've lost it. No, I have it right here. A little something to start your day, a little something to give you some food for thought. This is a quote by Aristotle, and the quote is, "It's during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light." Chew on that. Let's play that tape. Yes, grand day to all. Welcome to the Daily Huddle. My name is Steele Greye. I'm joined by the ever-present Mr. Ricochet of Haiti. And our discussion today is something that I've been hearing about, researched about for quite a while. And I wanted to bring it to the Daily Huddle today because I believe it's very crucial to all of us. However, it is actually described in some different ways by different people. These are the determinants of health, right? The things that can be said to be determiners of how healthy we are, that are outside the common things that we speak about, outside the what you're eating, how you're exercising, so on and so forth. And they're factors that are ever present, but maybe really not talked about as heavily as they may, as they should be, I should say. So when I speak about that, I say the determinants of health. I mean genetics, I mean behavior, I mean environmental and physical influences, and also social factors, right? As I was doing research on this and thinking about how this connects to my own life in general, when the first part of it came up and I read it, genetics, I thought about my parents. I thought about how they move and how I've always seen them move based on how they were genetically laced, right? How does my mother move? How does my father move? What is their health quotient? Were they concerned about health as a child? Are they concerned about health as an adult? And what they had just within their physical body to make those things happen, right? Or to be a vehicle moving forward. My father was a Marine. The fact that my father was a Marine, when I found that out, it made perfect sense that he had used previously his genetics to go into a place where he could even expand himself even more based on what he already had. I never really discussed with my father what was the actual reason why he went to be a Marine. However, that shaped him, and then it shaped me, right, as well. As we talk about, the actual behavior that we show to the world, right, where it comes from and why does it come from that place to where we're now in the world displaying it around all of our people, or our closest friends, our associates, whatever the case may be. Then there's the environmental and the physical influences. When we think about our environment, how we walk around the world, I'm outside right now, right? A month or so ago, whatever it was, when that complete fog, right, enveloped the city, that affected people. That was our environment, right? Our environment took away some of our actual breathing. So what did that do for us? It put some of us inside. It kept some of us inside, right? That was a big thing. Now, on the other side of that, where we're talking about physical influences, what influences us physically, right? What do we see physically that influences us? Is it a nice looking woman or a man? Is it someone that's biking? Is it when we go to the gym, the person that has that 8-pack and we just wish we could have it, or whatever the case may be? How does our brain move after we see those things? Do we make a different decision, or do we just say, that's not for me. I have what I need. I'm fine. I'm not affected by that. And then lastly, social factors. Well, of course, I could not speak about social factors without talking about social media. And the social media that we are all connected to is so present that most people, I don't even know. I'm going to say this, but it might be unfair for certain other people. I don't even know if people would know how to live without social media right now, right? There was a joke a couple of days ago that I read, and it said, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter were down. The doorbell rang, and I went to open the door, and it was my neighbor. And I said, hi. And she said, I just wanted to show you what I was having for dinner today. And I thought, oh my gosh. It's true, though. It's really, really true that people want to be connected to this in a social way. It's our way of connecting electronically, right? However, the downside is we're losing that connectivity between people in a way that is so powerful, we don't even feel it slipping away most days or most times. So all of these factors that I just kind of touched upon, I believe are so crucial, and I've known about them for a long time. I keep them with me in my brain. However, it's a few of them I believe are really kind of putting our brain into a space of atrophy, if you will, because we are accepting them as the norm, right? Well, I got to put it on social media, or I got to do the things that my parents did, or I have to go out and be in the place where everybody is, even if I don't like how the environment is around me, and all these things like that. So, Sorrel, I'm going to throw it over to you for a moment. Get your take on these concepts, or if one specifically stuck out for you while I was explaining it.
Yeah, Chase. Good morning. I'm going to
grand day, sir.
I'm going to spotlight you again. So we can have a conversation about that, right? So when I heard you mention the 5 determinants of health, I looked and I said, wow, there are some that we can have an influence over personally, and there's one called genetics that, well, maybe through gene manipulation and some really expensive procedures, we could impact that, or even the way we quote unquote breed for the future, right?
Right.
And so there are the factors we can influence and those that we cannot. So taking into account that our genetics are what they are, and that maybe we can't influence them as much as we could influence our behaviors, the environmental and physical influences, as well as the social factors. How do you specifically manage the 4 that I'm saying we can influence? Let's start with your behavior. And I'm not looking for the behavior you do that makes you quote unquote better or healthier than others. I'm interested in how you personally struggle with maintaining the kind of behaviors that promote health for you. Let's start there.
How do I maintain them?
How do you actually maintain the behaviors that you say,
that I said,
behaviors that promote health for you? How do you struggle with that? Because I think what I struggle with and what people struggle with, right? You see this cup of coffee, right? I know I shouldn't, not that I know I shouldn't put sugar in it, but I've heard that, too much sugar will kill you, over time. Guess what? I was raised in Haiti. And in Haiti, breakfast is coffee with a lot of sugar and a big piece of white bread. Right. And for me, that's like, it's not genetics, but it is in a way. I
Right.
wake up in the morning and not have this cup of coffee. And nowadays, I don't put sugar in it. Maybe I put a little maple syrup because Vince beat that in me. But what are the behaviors that you know are the behaviors that would promote your health that you struggle with maintaining?
You know, it's interesting that you started out with the coffee because my father drank a lot of coffee when I was younger. He used to drink Cafe Bustelo, which is like crazy heavy Cuban coffee. And I remember watching that, and then later knowing that coffee is a diuretic, coffee is a dehydrator, and learning about the insides of it. I manage it by, I don't know if this is going to sound strange or not, but I many times pay very, very close attention to the people who are not managing their behavior. And that's how I manage my behavior. So I put myself in their body, or hypothetically, and say, do I want to look like that in 4 years based on what they're doing? I know they're a drinker. I know they're a smoker. I know they're doing other wonderful favors that are outside of those realms that are inhibiting their body. Do I want to do that? I think I want to look like that. I don't want to be debilitated. And then that I transfer to myself. That's one way I keep my behavior intact. Another way is I cannot stop devouring information about health. And I get new avenues all the time by different books, by different speakers, by different so on and so forth, because there's no one way to be healthy that fits everyone. So I take from different things and I keep running back to the same ingredients again that make us healthy, right? The greens, the avocado, the ginger, the lemon, the lime, the all the things that are coming from nature, right? That's
Mhm.
how I keep my behavior intact. Nature is my greatest teacher because nature keeps moving. It keeps regenerating. It keeps doing what it does. It doesn't one day say, I don't want to grow today. I think I want to sit right here and just watch people. Doesn't do that. So that's the best way I can say that I manage my behavior in that way, because it's all around us. The answers are all around us. And I find myself paying more attention to them now than ever.
Yeah, and I'm asking you the question to uh, engage an inquiry, everybody, right? Because that's something to ponder, right? I may know what the behaviors are that promotes my health, and do I actually behave as such? So I'm inviting everybody to consider those questions. The other one is the environmental and physical influences.
Mm,
Well, you live in New York City, right?
yes.
And without making New York City wrong, I'm thinking, gosh, man, it must be dealing with the environmental, physical, and social factors that impact health in New York City. What do you confront on a daily basis that you say are the environmental factors that you have to manage? And how do you deal with that?
Well, I mean, it is New York City, so we have literally a cornucopia of nationalities, of mindsets, of physicalities, of everything you could possibly think is in that little island, right? Now, one of the things that I confront daily, for example, I'm not a smoker, never had a cigarette in my life. However, I've come from parents who smoke. So I do have some smoke, or I did have some smoke in my lungs. I checked it. And what I confront when I'm in New York City is that one of the things is people smoking. So if someone's smoking and they're walking in front of me, guess what? I'm smoking too. So I let them go a little further than me so that I don't, catch the secondhand smoke, or I'll move to the side. I've even gone inside places and come back out again so I can be confronted with cleaner air. Also, you deal with a certain level of rage living in New York City. Imagine how many angry people are behind the wheel of a steel piece of machinery that are going around the city. You have to watch where you're walking, how you're walking. Your ears are challenged every day, because what do people do all day? They beep their horns. They're right near you. your ears are getting taxed all the time, every day. And on another level, there are a myriad of different aromas that permeate the air in New York City, right? The smell of a bagel or a hot dog, the urine from a dog or a person, the smoke coming from the bottom of the ground out of the manholes, the exhaust from buses and cars. Now, when you think of all of that together going into your system, well, what will take that out? How could you combat that? My way of combating it is I go to my yoga class. I do my breath of fire. I do my rowing, right? I ride on the bike. What is that doing? That's filtering my air, filtering my air, filtering my air. It's going to be in there in some way, shape, or form. But if I stop doing that, then I allow everything to sit and build up. So the breathing part is really big for me. And I mean, you know, more than just the breathing that we're all doing. If I need to bike, I need to run, I need to walk. That's how I combat that.
Yeah, and so this conversation is an invitation to everybody to consider that there are factors regarding health. I think it was Giovanni who shared this with me once, that when a human being is being conceived, that nature knows what it's doing, so it takes the best out of the egg and the best out of the sperm and produces the best human being it can. So genetically speaking, regardless of how I come out short, how you come out tall, or how one comes out with a certain body type, you could say that every human being, genetically speaking, is healthy, like the healthiest that nature could provide. So then there are the factors that on top of that, we can manage the environment, the physical impact, the physical factors, the social factors. And this is an invitation to look personally and say, wow, given how I am genetically speaking, how am I contributing to my own health? Or how am I contributing to my own disease? So I say we open it up and hear what others have to say inside of that context. So how are you? Tara, go ahead.
So Sorrel, I think I'm gleaning that you were a little bit our featured speaker today, and you didn't really say how you amend your behaviors.
Well, now you're the featured host today. Well, here's how I'll go directly to what I'm dealing with right now, right? I had, genetically speaking, I thought that I had a lot to make up for. You know, so if I wasn't going to be 6 foot tall like I always wanted to be, or taller, I was going to be lean, mean, and very chiseled. So for a long time, I exercised really hard. And at my age currently, I find that while my mind says exercise this way, my body goes, wait a minute, I don't think we could do that today. So
Been there.
I've had to, you know, from a health standpoint, you know, exercising is a physical behavior. It's a behavior that I had to alter, despite the fact that I kept telling myself that, man, if you can't and don't continue to exercise at the same rate, something's wrong with me. Mm-hmm. So over the course of the last 3 years, I've had to create for myself a level of activity that's, I would say, consistent for what my body can handle right now. So instead of running, I do the grandpa shuffle.
I doubt that.
You know, the grandpa shuffle is the shuffle that you do, like you're walking really fast, like a fast walker, and you still break a sweat, but you don't do anything on the joints, and I don't do anything on the lower back where I have two vertebrae that are fused. So physically, I've had to make some adjustments. And nutrition-wise, I've made some adjustments. Since May 2021, I've eaten mostly plant-based. And I struggle with what my mind tells me, that eating mostly plant-based, I'm not getting enough nutrition. And so when I have an ache or a pain somewhere, I go, gosh, man, maybe it's because I haven't eaten a piece of steak in a long time. Right. And then Vince rings in my ear, and Vince goes, you know, man, you can eat all you want if you eat just plants. So the other thing I also struggle to manage, Tara, is sleep. I created for myself a culture where not sleeping, not resting, burning the candle at both ends is something that I wore as a badge of courage and honor for a long time. So nowadays, I have an alarm on my smartphone that says bedtime. Taking a page out of my good friend Nidhi Gupta, I blank out everything, and then when that clock says bedtime, I spend another hour working instead of another 4 or 3, and I go to bed at a reasonable time. So I've modified that too. Thank you for asking, Tara.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I mean, you and Chase, I've seen you in person, and you, Chase, from the screen, you both appear very healthy. So it's great. The more perspectives, the better. I'd love to take this conversation maybe on another Tuesday into helping folks that just don't have that drive in them. Because I think it feels like to some people that it's just constant discipline and deprivation. And that's not been my experience. So I love what you're sharing, but I can see you have a question.
Go
Absolutely.
ahead, Robin.
Hey, good morning, guys. Look, I appreciate this conversation, Chase, and what I do, you know, getting close to 60, and like Sorrel, deciding that the body just doesn't want to do the things that, you know, I still want to. And I'm a Marine as well, Chase. So
right. I remember that.
Your dad, right?
Yes, yes.
But I, like this morning, I have a million things I need to do today, but I said, you know what? It's 64 degrees outside Atlanta this morning. It's beautiful. There's not a cloud in the sky. I have 2 dogs that are just sitting here going, hey, dude, those trails, we haven't been there in a while. Could you so we went out, we did 2 miles this morning, and I'm pounding the water and I'm adding in the supplements. But the mindset change was when I decided I wasn't going to rely on a medical system that's only interested in profits and a food system that's the same. And that I was going to take my own health into my own matters and custom tailor for me based on biblical standards and nutritional standards that make sense, how to promote health in my life and in my body. The trail was great. It got my physical activity. I got my heart going. But what it really did is it centered my mind, and it got me thinking about how vast and great our God is, and how big he is, and how amazing this creation is, and that I get to be a part of it right now. And I love what you said about the neighbor coming over with the plate of food. I just had to show you what I had for dinner tonight. You know, I thought about it while I was out in the trails, because my wife couldn't be with me this morning. She's a corporate worker, so she's at work. And I thought, you know, I want to just do a little video to show her that I'm out here with the dogs. She loves the dogs. She loves the trail. So I wanted to help share it with her. And I was going to go on Facebook or Instagram or something and go live. And I thought, no, I don't care. I'll do a little piece of video and I'll send it to my wife so she can enjoy it with me, right? But the idea of just unplugging from that, and then you know, taking some supplements that are really helping in inflammation and energy, natural things, not medical prescribed drugs that are doing more damage than they are good. And that mindset that you said, not just looking at somebody and saying, is that what I want to look like 4 years from now, who's sick or overweight or unhealthy, But looking at the other side of that and seeing somebody that's ripped and chiseled and looking great, and you see them, they drink a gallon of water while they're at the gym doing their workout.
Right.
You think, that's what I want to look like in 4 years. And that's the level of health I want to have. So the mindset of it is huge, because we can
Right.
fall into that trap of the only answer is burn it, prescribe it, cut it out, and then sorry, you're going to die. Or I'm going to take advantage of the ability I have in my brain to make good choices and to do the things that are going to give me long life and long health.
Truly, yeah.
Rollin had a thing. He said, you know, the number one way of making sure that you're able to stay on track is to have a huge why. And my huge why is I want to teach my great grandchildren how to play Frisbee on the beach. And I don't even have a grandchild yet. So it's got to have a big why to get there, right? So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I appreciate the conversation, and thank you very much for doing what you're doing, sir.
Excellent. I
Go
have
ahead,
a glimpse.
CC.
Is that me, CC?
That's you.
Hey, everyone. I love the dialogue, especially the part around nature. Yes, I'm not comparing myself to anyone, but I sure am making changes, eating those natural vegetables and being with her and changing what I learned from my loved ones. I do not eat what they eat. I don't even look at what they look at on TV. So it has made a big impact because I'm working with a clear mind. And that's what nature does, clear my mind. And by the grace of God, I'm here 88 pounds lighter than what I was a couple of years ago. And I contributed to getting knowledge from this call, as well as the speakers that share about having good health. So thank you, Pass.
Thank you, CC. And you speak of benefiting from the speakers and the hosts on the show. Guess what, Chase? August 12th is right around the corner. You want to say?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I said he's on his way right now to that area. Yes, of course, August 12th in Atlanta. If you're just joining us for the first time on the call, or even the second time, and you have not actually experienced the wide range of intelligent, heartwarming, focused people that we have in this environment, you have to be at this event. You have to be there to see everyone in person as we embody these 8 tenets that we always speak about each and every day. The price is, you spend the price of this thing in a millisecond in your everyday life. It has nothing to do with it. Trust me, it's the smallest it could ever be. And I believe that a day with these people is going to be something that's life-changing. So you can go to the Daily Huddle event.com and check that out. And all of our great speakers are going to be there. It's going to be amazing. I'm excited. I'm very, very excited.
So yeah, the dailyhuddleevent.com. Purchase your tickets now. Will be on the 12th of August from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And guess what? We have a big surprise at the end.
Red Hot Chili
I'm
Peppers
not
coming?
gonna tell you what it is. So Sheree, we'll give you the last word. You've got half a minute.
Half a minute. Wow.
I'll be quick. So I was just thinking about my journey in terms of in 20s, what used to really, I'll say, satisfy me was whiskey. I was a big whiskey drinker. In my 30s, it became the bar, but not just any bar. It was a pull-up bar. So my friends who wanted to go to a bar to drink whiskey, I was like, nah, I don't do that anymore. In my 40s, I'm definitely Mother Nature. I'm the river, I'm the beach. So it's changed, during each, I'll say, era of my life. And I'm really appreciating that journey. So my 50s, I don't know, Sarel, I'll see. I'll see.
Thank you, Sheree. Rashida, let me hear your big booming voice.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Chase and Cheryl, for the topic this morning. And it's fun because you have took the old house away. And why I am interested in this topic is that you don't know what kind of influence you cause in people's lives until they approach you and say something. And why I'm saying this is that I have a 10-year-old granddaughter. And she went to Jamaica, just came back from Jamaica on the 20th, and she says, my time that I'm going to spend with my Nana is to learn to cook. I want it to be just like my Nana. When I grow up, I want to eat raw food. I want to eat my vegetables, and I want to look just like my Nana. And this topic for me, it's so important to see. I went and get my granddaughter. She's here with me, and we're going to have a ball. As a chef that I am, I'm going to teach her the best of what I can teach her, that she would remember me the rest of her life. And with that, I'm out, but I'm still here.
Take us home, Chase. Chase, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't see my phone. It was a glare. Before we take ourselves out today, please excuse me for letting my lizard brain not feel the climate of the room by asking people our wonderful questions at the beginning. I just realized that happened. I was so excited about the conversation. So I will never do that again. I please accept my humble apologies on that. So thank you all for joining us today. As always, we end with our tenets: to live out loud, stronger than you ever have before. Love generously. When I say generously, I mean outside of the boundaries that you may think are there, which they are not, right? Give of yourself in multiple ways to multiple people. It's all a big wheel that's coming around and around, and we are part of that wheel. Always remember to eat mostly plant-based so that our body can be at an optimal level, no matter what we decide to do. Also, sleep. Get your sleep. I'm speaking to myself every time I say this because my sleep is at a deficit right now, but please, 5 to 7 hours, 4 to 6 hours, whatever it makes sense for you, but more than you're doing right now. Oh my goodness, it's so important. Remember to stress less in every possible place. And if you feel like you're about to stress, just take that breath. Couple of seconds. I do it all the time. I promise you it'll give you a little bit of cushion so that you don't damage yourself or others in front of you. And lastly, check yourself before you wreck yourself. You are important, and you are a catalyst in the forward motion of life. Thank you so much for being here. I am Chase Steele Greye. This is Sorrel Keton, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Thank you. Bye.